Very good evening. I am Aditi Lamba and you are watching another edition of Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. A show focused on the interests, identity and expressions of the South Asian community. We aim to highlight our successful, engaging diaspora into the American society, presenting a range of topics from culture to education and much more. The show today emphasizes on the South Asian involvement in media, entertainment and corporate America industry, especially amongst the youth and young adults. A lot more are empowering the future voices. Let's now start the episode taking a look at the headlines. Consulate General of India, New York organizes 6th New India lecture featuring MasterCard President and CEO Ajay Banga. Up close and personal with Lavesh Pritmani, CEO and founder of Bhangra at ITV Gold Studio. Her campus hosts 7th Annual Her Conference 2018 in New York City. More details on the other side of the break. Stay with us on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be back shortly. Welcome again. I am Aditi Lamba and you're watching Vision of Asia. Beginning the show today, let's now take a look at the Indian Consulate in New York, which recently organized the 6th New India lecture featuring President and Chief Executive Officer of MasterCard, Mr. Ajay Banga. The Indian-born head of the American multinational financial services corporation addressed a great attendance of business, corporate, political and community leaders, as well as the South Asian youth. With the topic of importance and impact of a purpose-driven business, the lecture series was organized by the Consulate in partnership with the U.S.-India Strategic Partnership Forum. The event produced an educational and motivational segment bringing in together the members of Indian community. Emphasizing that India should focus on productivity to ensure robust GDP growth, Mr. Banga urged India to create more jobs in addition to manufacturing. A passionate discussion on his advice for the young, growing and economically strong India, Mr. Ajay Banga's interaction was moderated by Dr. Praveen Nair from the NYU Stern School of Business. Let's take a look at some highlights.
Large number of people turned up, new audiences, and what a masterclass in how to do purposeful business. I think amazing range of topics both of them covered, from diversity in the workplace to digitization to cryptocurrency to demonetization to GST. I think incredible range of topics they covered, and what authority he had between everything that he said, behind everything that he said. I think that is what Ajay Banga is all about. People come miles to listen to him, and I think what he says reverberates all over the world. I'm sure it will make news in the United States and in India. And what ringing endorsement of government policies. And when he said that at least the government is trying to do things which have never been done before, I think that gladdened our hearts. And I think when he talks about creation of jobs and giving a better life to the people of India, I think that is also what we are trying to do. I think in an amazing performance by both Dr. Praveen Nair and Ajay Banga, and I think that the program is continued well beyond what we normally schedule, is testimony to how a powerful speaker he is.
So there are 2-3 questions involved here. There's the question, how do you approach the allocation of resources, time, capital, thinking, into innovation? And then there's the question of some specificity on 2 or 3 topics. Actually, interestingly, the same management committee meeting today, I said 1/3 was spent on this idea of distributed methodologies of solar energy. 1/3 was spent on AI. And that gives you a sense of how important AI is to our country. My general view, Praveen, has been that companies that believe in a B2B space, which is what we are. We're not a B2C company, we're a B2B company. B2B2C maybe, but B2B principally, because we don't actually sell a card. Banks sell cards, merchants sell cards. You buy a product, you go online or you go physically, you do it on a card, or you pay with a phone, or you pay by rubbing your forehead, I don't care. So long as you use the technology we provide. Even though our name is MasterCard, we don't actually sell the card. So our entire company is built off the logic of having vertical platforms that are very robust, and then open APIs that make it as simple as the following. You go onto a website right now called developer.mastercard.com. And if you want to do it in the audience, you can go developer.mastercard.com, and you will find 50 of our services there. You click on a service. If you sign a deal with the company and we agree, we'll give you a cryptogram code to unlock the service. We'll give you the code, take the code, plug it into your system, you're live and ready to go in 5 minutes from now. That is why technology is scalable today compared to the technology of 10 years ago that was hardwired and hard-coded into your base platforms, the way you and I used to work on PDP 1170 some years back. That nonsense is gone.
Well, look, I think that right now there's still a huge opportunity with fighting cash.
Yeah.
85% of the world's retail transactions are still in cash. To me, that's the biggest opportunity.
Okay.
Even in the B2B space, cross-border, there's so much inefficiency in the way people are paid and the way in which commodities and trade moves that I'm continue to believe that there's a lot of runway for the next decade or two on that area. In addition, we are developing services. It could be cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, data analytics, loyalty and rewards. All those are being developed. And today, 27% of my revenue comes from those services, and 73% comes from core payments. To give you an example, 8 years ago, that was only 7% from those services. So I continue to believe that these services of cybersecurity and data and loyalty and rewards have a long runway ahead of them. Well, look, there's a blockchain which is underlying the cryptocurrency. To me, the blockchain has some interesting value propositions that we should look at.
Okay.
All I'm saying is a cryptocurrency by itself, which is anonymized, which does not have a store of value, which is not guaranteed by a sovereign government. I don't understand how you can use that as a medium of exchange. So when you say what people are looking for is a global currency, how can you use something as a medium of exchange that today could buy you one bottle of Coke, and tomorrow could buy you one Mercedes-Benz, and day after could buy you, half a bottle of Coke?
Absolutely.
So I think that's one problem. And the second problem is that even today, you can use rupees to buy products wherever you go. You can use dollars to buy products wherever you go. Because the banking system allows you to convert the currency and yet maintain your connection to your sovereign fiat currency. So I think the idea of having a currency that is not connected to a standard of value or the guarantee of a government behind it, to me, that is not a currency, that is an asset. If you want to invest in Bitcoin or in some other cryptocurrency as an asset class, and you are a sophisticated investor who understands the risks involved, you should do it. It's like investing in anything else. But then don't treat it like a currency or a medium of exchange. Treat it like an asset class of investment. And that's a different topic.
So if you study economics, what is GDP growth? It is equal to the growth of labor multiplied by the growth of productivity. India has lots of labor, and thanks to its demographic dividend, will have lots of labor maturing over the next 25-30 years. But India does not have productivity. And if you don't get productivity, you cannot get GDP growth. You cannot get GDP growth only with labor growth. You will get a very low level, no matter how much effort and energy you put into this system. Now, the way to increase productivity and democratize it is everything that is currently being done. Bring things into the formal economy, hence demonetization, GST. People may not like the pain that they have to go through, but it is the right thing to do. You may think there are better ways to do it. Fine, I agree, there are always better ways to go from here to that door. I could go this way, I could go that way, I could go through the tables. At some point you make a choice, so you make a choice. And my point is, the point is you've got to get to the door. And whether it's GST, demonetization, bringing the economy into the formal economy, whether it is skills and teaching people skills, whether it is chasing down the idea of services. To me, look at tourism. Mukesh and Gaurav and I have discussed this many times. You spend $1 on manufacturing. You get many more jobs from the same dollar in tourism. But you get lower paying jobs. But you get lower skill, but many more jobs.
Well, as you heard me say, the power of the internet and these Internet of Things technologies is enormous.
Right.
The power of them to transform our lives, from enabling you to allow a disabled child to learn how to speak better, or provide a secure alarm to a handicapped person, or enable all kinds of things to happen. The fact that in the past, You had to buy an Encyclopedia Britannica to get data. Now you go online with Google and it's free. That is democratizing knowledge. So to me, the internet is very powerful. And people who think that we should hold it back, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying do it with an eye on making sure that it is safe and secure for all the people who could benefit from it, as compared to it being used for an evil purpose.
Exactly.
You know, nuclear power was beneficial.
Right.
Nuclear weapons are not.
Now on the show, we have a very unique and one-of-its-kind coverages ITV Gold was proud to be associated with. Bringing more stories of integrating South Asians into a stronger, diverse, and larger American community, we like to applaud the efforts of organizations that provide that space for expression and involvement of members from the diaspora. With that aim, we recently covered the 7th Annual Her Conference 2018 brought together by Her Campus, a leading career development conference for college women focused on media, marketing, journalism, PR, entrepreneurship, social impact, technology, and leadership. Her conference provided a great platform for young women, featuring keynote speakers and several sessions and activity. With a huge focus on digital media and social media and its influence, her conference features speakers hailing from top employers to share their proven advice on getting jobs at these industry-leading companies.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Kaplan-Lewis, and we're here at Her Campus's 7th Annual Her Conference with over 600 college women in attendance here with us. And we have some amazing speakers and programming and workshops and activations happening all throughout the weekend. So thanks for joining us.
So Global Citizen is a nonprofit that wants to end extreme poverty by 2030. We partner basically with the UN, and we are working on the SDGs with them, and that's kind of how our advocacy platform is structured. We are a unique nonprofit just because we don't ask people for money. It's purely action driven, which is pretty cool. And so we basically ask you or the people to take strategic actions with an in-house policy team to put pressure on certain political leaders or big businesses to make real change. So to put funding towards certain causes or to put things on the G20 agenda and things like that. So there is also no typical day within that structure. It's a pretty reactive organization. We obviously have our major goals to end poverty, but within that there's women and girls issues, there's water sanitation issues, there's food and hunger and nutrition, and so we focus pretty exclusively on all of those types of branches and all those issues, and so kind of whenever things pop up, they pop up. But my main job is to work on the rewards program, so that's like the festival but year-round. So basically it's our incentive program. You can take action, you earn points for all the actions that you take on our platform, and you can win really cool tickets to concerts around the world.
Because we're talking about wearing so many different hats, I think that's a choice. It is a quality that is really valuable in any business and something definitely to consider, that following your job description to a T and not having willingness to try other things is the fastest way to stagnate. So, being open to trying new stuff is how you get elevated.
I didn't know what I was doing on day one, and there's so much beauty in leading a company and seeing your vision come to life because you learn so quickly along the way. I think that I've been able to fail faster and learn more quickly than I could have in some of the roles I was in the past, just because I have so much more freedom and capacity to make those mistakes. And that's incredible and also really terrifying because I'm also leading people who are trying to figure out who they are and what kind of leaders they want to be in the world. And so I always struggle with how can I be the best of myself and allow myself to fail while I still hold up a company and all the people behind it that want to see it in themselves succeed.
There are two types of influencer marketing. So the first type is where a brand or an agency is hiring you to create content. So it's like, here's this lipstick, here's this fragrance, here's this outfit, and you need you to go do like 10 ways to like rock this bag. And so you go, you take it, you shoot it, you post it. That's what they've hired you to do. So that is where engagement rate comes into play, your demographic. If we're looking to reach people who are 18 to 24, is that your audience? Is your audience younger than that? Is your audience older? And then looking at like, do your colors match the brand? Like Victoria, Pink by Victoria's Secret, it's like a very certain colorful type of thing, which is why like the color Courtney works really well. The other part of what I do is I hire people to come to hers and we shoot you. So we create content. We're content creators. Cosmo and all these brands, we're legacy brands. So we've been creating content since people since before people hired other people to create content. So we will hire a girl to come in and we will do your makeup or have you do makeup on camera, and now you're doing a Sephora tutorial, but you are sitting there and we are filming you. When those things come into play, I do not care about your demographics. I don't care about your engagement rate. I don't care about any of those things because you're gonna post it, which is nice. Because the client's always like, "Can she post?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll tell her." But it's living on the Cosmo YouTube, the Cosmo website, the Cosmo Instagram feed. So that is what the client is paying for.
Hi everybody, I'm Jen Cassetta and just taught stilettos and self-defense here at her conference. And I had an amazing group of women. We learned how to strike and defend ourselves physically and emotionally. The women loved it and they were out of their seats and, like I said, moving their bodies and using their physicality.
We learned a lot of self-defense for ourselves and what to do if we get into situations that we feel uncomfortable.
Right now, as you can see, I'm going to be talking to these wonderful women about how to become influencers on Instagram, how to build their following, how to increase engagement, and even maybe make money off their Instagram. Ambitious, hardworking women, that's why they're all here today, getting a leg up on their careers, which blows my mind. I did not do this kind of thing when I was in college, so I'm just so impressed by them and so excited to learn from each other in here this morning.
The segment was amazing. I learned so much from Elisa. She had so much insight about Instagram stories. She's literally made me change my whole thought about how to use stories, how I'm going to integrate them, and I'm really excited to go home and use this knowledge on my platform.
Great. It's been so fun. As you can see, it's just absolutely crazy here, but it's been an incredible Her conference. All of these girls are so sweet. They're literally here internationally, from all over the United States, and the fact that everyone came here today to listen to these incredible speakers from entry-level position to incredible accomplished celebrities, the turnout is just absolutely fantastic and the energy is just wonderful.
Time for another short break. Stay with us on Vision of Asia. We'll be right back. Welcome again. You are watching Vision of Asia, bringing you prime South Asian highlights from all across. Concluding the show tonight, we have an up-and-close personal segment with Learn Bhangra CEO and founder Lavesh Pritmani. Showcasing Indian heritage through Punjabi dance style globally, the Learn Bhangra dance and fitness company has become one of the most premier global instructors of Bhangra. With products and services in over 45 countries, the Learn Bhangra company has successfully used a digital influencing space and created an industry-inspiring tradition and folk Indian performance arts, creating a stronger platform to celebrate, learn, and teach the style of Bhangra. A true story of a South Asian American passionate about providing identity and embracing culture, Lavesh Pritmani spoke to us about establishing a prominent digitally influenced company and its global reach while sharing some great tips for aspirants. Let's take a look.
So the competitive scene is really what drove my interest in Bhangra. But I was very lucky that in that initial year when I kind of started university and I joined UNC Bhangra Elite, University of North Carolina. I joined the Bhangra team there. There was also an academy back where I was from in Raleigh, which is close by, that was just opening up its doors. Fast forward 10 years later and we had 200 Bhangra students and we had multiple teams. It all just came from that first student, that passion I had for teaching, that enjoyment I really had for teaching. And on the side, the competitive aspect that drove those students to want to become better in their performances, to go to competitions, right? To travel the country, travel the nation, travel Canada, all over to go and compete. What if we did a Learn Bhangra app? Because I want to somehow take what I've learned and maybe make it, spread it out to other people and not have just this academy setting where I only have to do it at a physical location. And that's how Learn Bhangra as a company was born.
Lavesh with the Learn Bhangra app, dancing to Kente Wale Gabru by Surjit Khan.
Could you break down how Learn Bhangra really works with the app as well as all of the other services you're providing right now? And like how big has the company gotten since its conception as well as inception?
Yeah, so Learn Bhangra is what we call a dance and fitness company total. We started originally as an app, but today that's a core product of what we have. We also offer workshops. I'm very lucky to get to travel very often, pretty much every weekend, somewhere in the world, teaching a workshop. And we also offer certifications for people, because we found that in many of these places where Bhangra is still growing, even where it's already grown, people like to have that brand that's behind them. They like to have a methodology that they can help kind of latch onto to help improve their teaching. And so offering that through Learn Bhangra, through my experiences being in the studio, through what my coach taught me as well, offering that through our company has been a big part of what we do. And then we also have some side things here and there. We do choreography for clients. We get lots of wedding requests. Hey, can I have my first dance with, this favorite song of mine or whatever. Merchandise is a little bit of what we do as well too. And then there's a big part of our company that we're going to start to get into later this year, which will be on the fitness side. Because we all know Bhangra is a high energy dance. If you know what the dance is, you know it's high energy, right?
When you interact with a lot of people that are now looking up to you, or you artists and performers that follow you, how important do you think it is now for you to sustain that success and make sure that whatever Learn Bhangra is, or what you're trying to do with Bhangra, is actually there and it's sustained?
Absolutely. For me, there's a corporate, not only corporate, but artistic responsibility, I feel like, with Learn Bhangra, in that everything that we do, for me, my passion has always been folk Bhangra. That's what my coach has also taught me, right? And so that's what drives me. Everybody's driven by something a little differently, right? And for me, I wanted that to be the representation of what Learn Bhangra offers, the essence of the dance form, right? So it's a very difficult balance portraying that folk art form, but also, like you said, sustaining it, because there's a creativity aspect that inherently can butt heads with the folk art form, right?
That's true, that's true.
Right? And so I think what you present and what you show to the world through social media, through the app, whatever it may be, has to be that very delicate balance of saying, okay, I want to show something that I feel I would want to show, by not getting way too far out there and not saying, this is Bhangra, this is fusion Bhangra. If I'm going to do it, it's fine to do it, but I have to let people understand what it is, because that is the core of our company. We want to show people what the essence is, right?
Single tamal is a hopping step, and the way we're going to explain it is with our lower body and then our upper body. With our lower body, the key is to start with our left leg and to bring our knee at the highest point, which is about in line with our waist. We want to have our leg in a 45-degree angle, and we're going to have our foot flexed upwards. Let's try putting that all together just with lifting our left leg first. So we're going to bring our leg up in this 45-degree angle, our foot is flexed up, and our knee is in line with our waist.
What's your current take on the entire industry of South Asian performance arts right now? Do you think there is an increase of acceptance on that?
I 100% do, especially speaking, like you said, here in the US, I think it's necessary to continue to have that. We're getting to the point where a lot of different South Asian dance forms, be it Bollywood, be it classical, be it folk, are bleeding their way, because this is in America, into mainstream American society, into Hollywood, for example, right? Into commercial, into things like that. People appreciate, and I always like to sometimes give Bollywood a hard time, my Bollywood friends a hard time, but Bollywood has, the entire industry has in some sense helped make that happen. To see what's the difference between Hollywood and Bollywood when you think at the end of the day?
The music,
it's the dance and the music. That's what's in those movies that are not in those types of movies, right? And that's what makes them the two titans of the world's entertainment industry.
And this wraps up our South Asian segment for tonight. Send us your events or any suggestions to get your voices and organizations on our show. Do write to us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. You can also now subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch some more additional highlights. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is Vision of Asia and I am Aditi Lamba. Take care and be well.